Hi everyone, I am Kala. I hope you all are ready to write the examination as per new assessment system. That means multiple choice questions in OMR sheet. So here I am here to explain the concept based on this mind map. Okay, here our first chapter, nature and significance of management. So the concept of management. Management has been defined as a process of getting things done with the aim of achieving goals. Okay, management doing works ourselves, it is very easy. Okay, but getting things done through the efforts of others, that's very difficult. Here, management is an art of getting things done through the efforts of others, that also achieving organizational goals effectively and efficiently. What's the meaning of effectively and efficiently? Effectiveness means doing the right task and achieving the goals on time. Efficiency means doing the task correctly and with the minimum cost. In simple term, effectiveness means to achieve the goals within time, and efficiency means optimum use of resources to achieve the goals. Here, efficiency and effectiveness are the two sides of the same coin, but these two aspects need to be balanced to achieve the organizational objectives. So, we can say that management should be both effective and efficient. Okay, then next one, what are the features of management? First one, management is an intangible force. Intangible force means you know very well that is a we can't see and we can't touch that one. But we can feel the management. We can feel the management when we felt the target are met and our employees are happy. In this situation, we can feel that then effective management is there. Next one is management is a goal oriented process. Yes, management, every process, every actions we are doing to achieve an own objectives or goals. We should clearly specify the organizational goals or objectives. Here means that we want to achieve the next year 100 units production, the next year coming, or we want to increase our profit from the 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Like that, we have to specify our goals very clearly. Next one is management is all pervasive. All pervasive. What's the meaning of this all pervasive, children? The meaning of the all pervasiveness means universal acceptability or universal adaptability. We can apply this management techniques or management everywhere. If it is a small organization, big organization, or in India or outside or worldwide, we can use this management. Even we can use these management techniques in our daily life also. So this applicability of management is everywhere. So we can say that management is all pervasive. Then children, next one is management is multi-dimensional. Management has so many dimensions. Management, first one, management at work, management of people, and management of operation. Okay, what's the management of work? Every organization exists to perform some works. Okay, management translate this work in terms of goals to be achieved and assign means to achieve it. So we can say that is it is a one dimension is management of work, and next dimension is management of people, and we are managing the human resources. Human resources or people are the most important assets of an organization. All knows very well that one. So management of peoples, we have to manage in two dimensions. We have to manage them. First one, dealing with the diverse needs of an employees as an individual, and next dealing with an individual as a group of people. These two tasks will come in management of people. The task of management is to make people work towards achieving the organization's goal by making their strength effective and their weakness irrelevant. Like that, we have to manage the people. Next one, management of operation. Management of operation combines the management of work as well as management of people. Okay, it involves deciding what is to be done, management of work, and who is to do it, management of people. These two will comes under the management of operation. So management is a multi-dimensional. Three dimensions are there: management of work, management of people, and management of operation. Next one, management is a never-ending process, or it is a continuous process. Various management functions are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, etc. This process is going on, continuing like a chain. It's not a never-ending process. So we can say that management is a continuous process. Okay. Next one is management is a group activity. Every people are working as a group. The members of the organization all are having the diverse needs also. We are joining to the organization with the different needs. Then we have the members of the organizations are differ, but members of the organization, they work together to the organizational goals, combine them together for the achievement of the organizational objectives. So we can say that management is a group activity. Next one is management is a dynamic function. Okay, always ever ending. Management is a dynamic function. An organization interact with its external environment, okay, which consists of various social, economic, and political factors. In order to survive and growth, an organization must change itself and its goals as per the environment. We have to change as per the changing needs of our environment. So the management itself, they are getting adjusted with these changing needs. So we can say that management is a dynamic function. Next one is the objectives of management. Okay, what's the objectives? Management seeks to achieve certain objectives. What do the objective means? Objectives are the ends towards which all activities of an organization are directed. So the objectives of organization we can classify it into three: organizational objectives, social objectives, and personal objectives. What's the organizational objective? Organizational objectives are the main objective which are needed to achieve the economic goals of the organization. And here we are saying survival of the business, profit earning, growth of the business. Here what's the survival of the business? The basic objective of any organization to ensure that it is continuous and survive and exist in the future. Survival is possible only when organization is able to earn enough revenue to cover its cost. So what's a profit? Profit is the lifeblood of business, without which no business can survive. So management has to ensure that the organization make a little profit. Little, no, enough profit. So next one is the growth of the organization. That is a business need to add its prospect in a long run. For this, organization must grow and expand the survey in the long run of the life of the business. Next one is the social objectives. Social objectives refers to the objective which are directed to the redirected to be achieved for the benefit of the society. We have to do something beneficial to the society. So, as a part of the society, every organization, whether it is a business organization or a non-business organization, has a social obligation to fulfill. It means the management must consistently create economic value for the various constituents of the society. First are the fulfill the social needs and employment opportunity and social services. I will tell the examples like that. Protection of environment by using the environmental friendly methods of production and creation of employment opportunity, providing basic amenities like school and healthcare facility, etc. Supply of good quality products and at a reasonable price, conducting business in lawful manner, avoidance of antisocial and unfair trade practices. These are the example of social objectives. Then personal objectives. An organization is made up of the people who have different personality, background, experience and the objectives. So here objectives of the personal objectives means and financial needs like competitive salaries and we have to satisfy their needs. Then only they will work as a effective or worthful employees for our organization. So next one, social needs like peer recognition, self-respect and respect for colleagues. High level needs such as policies for personal growth and development. Next, good and healthy working condition. So recognition, earn fame and that is expansion in the market. That means personal growth and development of the employee. These are the various objectives of management. Next topic, importance of management. Okay, management helps in achieving group goals. Already we decided we are deciding organizational goals, we are achieving group wise. So management helps in achieving group goals. Management increases efficiency. Management creates a dynamic environment and management helps in the development of the society. These are the importance of management. Next topic is the nature of management. What's the true nature of management? Is it art or science or a profession? That question coming. We'll check what are the features of art, science and profession. When we'll conclude what is the nature of the true nature of management. What's the science? Science is a systematized body of knowledge acquired through the observation and experimentation that explains certain general truth or the operations of general laws. Okay, what are the basic features of management? First one, it is a systematized body of knowledge. Yes, management also satisfied these features. Okay, it is also systematized body of knowledge built up by management practitioners over the considerable period of time. Yes, that's satisfying that first feature. Next one, principles based on observation and experimentation. This feature of science is not 100% applicable in management. Okay, next one, it is a universal validity. This feature of science is also not 100% applicable in the management. Existence of management is a science. It is a systematized body of knowledge. Yes, it is. Principle is based on the experiment, not 10% correct. And universal validity is not a 10% correct. Then we can conclude that on comparing the features of this science with management, we can conclude that management cannot be considered as exact or accurate science like physics, chemistry, etc. But we can call is an inexact science or social science or soft science. Okay, and then what are the characteristics of the art? Is management art? Check. Art refers to skillful and personal application of systematic knowledge to bring desired result. It can be acquired through study, observation and experiment. Okay, first features is the existence of theoretical knowledge. Existence of theoretical knowledge. Yes, theoretical knowledge is required for science, management also. These features of art is present in management as it also evolves the use of theoretical knowledge like principles and techniques of management. Next one, that is a personalized application. This feature also satisfying. This feature of art also present in the management as every manager has to own his own unique way of managing things and people. Although all the managers all the managers are learn same management theories and principle, but they are applying in their own way. So this principle also, these features of art also satisfying by the management. Next one, it is based on practice and creativity. This feature of art also applicable in management. Managers also improve their managerial skill and efficiency with regular application or practice of management principle. Is it art? Okay, we'll check. Finally, it can be concluded that management is an art As it satisfies all the characteristics, it is rightly said that management is an art of getting things done through the efforts of others. I told first itself, in the definition itself, we told that management is an art. But here it must be noticed that management lacks perfection as found in arts. A musician can repeat the composition as an artist can draw the same painting again, but manager may not be able to repeat the same principle due to the changes in the circumstances. We are managing a real life. We are managing with the human being. So repetition that may not be possible. So then next one it is management a profession? Okay, we'll check what are they. It is a well-defined, profession is a well-defined body of knowledge. Okay, well-defined body of knowledge. This feature of profession is present in management. And it is a system association, systematic knowledge on concept, theories and principles are there. Management is taught in the different institution like Indian Institute of Management in India. Like that everywhere in the all over the world they are teaching management principles. So next feature is the restricted entry. Another feature is a restricted entry. Every profession restrict the entry through the examination or through acquiring the educational degree. Because example, Chartered Accountants of India, the candidate has to clear the specified examination conducted by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. But in management, this feature is not applicable. All people, it is open to the all individual who wants to learn the skills of management. We are not restricting anyone from this management skill. Next one is a professional association. Okay. What is a professional association? This is not fully applicable in the management. This feature also not applicable in the management as it is not compulsory for the manager to be a member of any management association. Management associations are there in the All India Management Association, like that associations are there, but it's not compulsory to be a member of that association. All managers. It's not compulsory. So then ethical code of conduct is there. Okay, ethical code of conduct is there in the all profession, but in the case of the management, this one is also not following strictly. There is no uniform code of conduct for the managers, although certain management association like All India Management Association are formulated ethical code of conduct, but it is no legal support for that. So then next one it is the one more feature is there, service motive. This feature also not certain percentage applicable to the management. The basic aim of the management is to help the organization to achieve its desired goal, that is a profit maximization. So we can't say that this management objective or aim is a service motive. It's not following that feature of profession. So we can conclude like this. Management does not possess all the necessary features of the profession, but it is moving fast in the direction becoming a profession and enjoying the high status of the professionals. We can in the near future, managers also can enjoy the high status of professionals. There has been a growing trend towards the professionalization of management, as the managers also want to earn the social status and recognition. We can hope in the near future we can also say that yes, management is a profession also. Next one is the levels of management. What's the levels of management means? Levels of management. We discussed earlier, management is a group activity. So every organization consists of a group of people who are placed at different positions to perform the different responsibilities. Based on the extent of their, if they want to perform this responsibility, they want to get the necessary authority also. On the basis of the extent and the amount of authority and responsibility, a chain of superior subordinate relationship is created. Okay, this chain we can say that hierarchy or levels of management. Hierarchy of management or levels of management. The hierarchy of management position from the top to bottom is called levels of management. The hierarchy of the management from the top to bottom is called as levels of management. This hierarchy is framed on the basis of the authority and the responsibility. So here we are divided into the levels into three: top level management, middle level management, and operational level management. So level of management, first one is the top level management. They consist of the senior and most executive of the senior most executive members of the organization. They are consisting of the here there is a board of directors, chairman, president, etc. What are their duties then? The top level managers' duties to integrate the diverse elements and coordinate the activities of the different department according to the overall objectives of the organization, to analyze the business environment and its implication through the survival of the firm, to formulate overall organizational goals and strategies, and to arrange the resources of men, machine, material, money, etc. for the successful working of the organization. Those are the main function of top level management. Next, middle level management. Middle level management includes finance manager, production manager, that middle level all managers. They are the link between this top level and this lower level or operational level managers. And what are their function? To interpret the policies framed by the top management, to ensure that their department has been necessary personnel, NNEL personnel workers are there, and to assign necessary duties and responsibility to their personnel or staff, to motivate them to achieve the desired objectives, to cooperate with the other departments for smooth functioning of the organization. These are the middle level managers' duty. Then operational level managers, they are consist of their direct contact with the workforce. Their supervisors, foreman, etc. are the example. So what are their function? To oversee the effort of the workforce, to interact with the actual workforce, and to pass the instructions of the middle level management and the middle level from the instruction from the middle level management to pass to the workers, to ensure the quality of output to be maintained, to represent the workers' grievances, to ensure that the people are working, to ensure the safe and proper working condition, ensure the safe and healthy working condition to the workers. These are the main functions of lower level management. Next one is the functions of management. Functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. This we are studying in detail in separate chapter. For your first term, up to the organizing, we have to study up to the organizing, staffing, directing and controlling for the next term. And here one, it is the coordination. That's a function, but it's not that the functions of management. We can say that that's the essence of management. Okay, first we will discuss about the functions of management. What's the planning? Planning is deciding in advance what to do, when to do, how to do and who will do a particular task. That we are deciding in advance. We can say that what's the planning. And organizing means so we plan that one, what to do, when to do, how to do and who will do a particular task. Then assign that work to assign the duty, create that duty position. That is the assignment of the duties or organizing function. We are creating that place for that each job. Post, we can say that post. Next one, staffing. To assign right job to the right person and fill that post with the right people. That is called, that process is called staffing. And directing and influencing and motivating the employees to perform a task. And we are assigned a work to them. Then we want to get the things done through the efforts of them. So how to get that one? So through the directing. So the directing influence them, motivate them, the employees to perform the task in an effective way and get it back. That is the directing. And then controlling. Controlling means completed, tasks are being completed, and then what to do, we have to check what was our planned thing and what we got received. So make a comparative study to make a control on the managerial performance. We are planned one is with us, plan with us, and then our actual performance is with us. So compare what happened. If it is a 5% deviation, we can accept. If more than that, plus or minus, we have to assess where committed mistake, where went our planning wrong. So then we can again change our plan and continue this process. So we can say that it is a continuous process. We are coming up to the controlling, then again we are replanned and going to the same process. So we can say the management is a continuous process also. Next and last topic is coordination. I told coordination is sometimes it will treated as the separate function of management, but we can treat this one as the essence of management. Okay, essence of management. Coordination is sometimes considered as a separate function of management, but it's an essence of management for achieving the harmony among the individual effort towards the accomplishment of the group efforts. Group coordination is a process by which manager synchronize the activities of different departments towards the achievement of a common goals. And organization consists of the different department that managers should coordinate and they are synchronize all activities of the different department to achieve the organizational goals. Coordination is a continuous attempt to every manager, and manager has to work like an orchestra conductor who directs the action of his orchestra group to produce a fine music. If we are coordinating all the efforts of the different department, then only we will get an effective result from our organization. So what are the features or characteristics of this coordination? Coordination integrates the group effort. Coordination ensures the unity of action, and it is a continuous process, and it is the responsibility of all managers. These are the main features, characteristics of this coordination. That concept I told already, and it is a process through which harmony is established among the different activities of an organization. Organization is divided into so many departments, and we should bring the harmony among these all departments. Then only we can achieve the organizational objectives. So what are the importance of this coordination? That importance of coordination we can say like this. Coordination is important and integrates the efforts of individual departments and the specialists. It is needed because department and individuals in an organization are different. Okay, they depend on each other for information and resources to perform their respective activities. So coordination is required there. So this coordination will help the betterment of the operation, establishment of proper balance between various departments, and specialization in work. These are the sum of this first chapter, nature and significance of management. But for getting the 100% mark, for ensuring 100% mark, you should go thoroughly through the NCERT textbook, each and every line of the NCERT textbook. Okay, if you want to get the notification for the next video, you can subscribe this channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.